It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie Yo 187. Day in the neighborhood. My brothers and sisters, I have found a new channel for us, y'all. Where it really kind of like found me because it popped up on my recommended, I think yesterday. Or the day before yesterday. Anyway, it popped up on my recommended. So I clicked on it and I'm watching it. I'm like, this is pretty damn good. This dude is doing a good job. I'm very interested in this damn video. And by the time I get to the end of the video, I'm like, oh yeah, we gotta add this dude to our playlist of people that we watch over here on our channel. And the name of this channel is Tragedy Tales. First time going to Tragedy Tales, y'all. And the title of the video is 10 videos captured before horror. Mature audiences only. Now I'm wondering, because they captured before horror, right? I'm wondering like, what's the aftermath? Did people die, or they just got injured, or nobody died, but they could have potentially died, but they escaped by the skin of their teeth. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm really wondering before we get into this one. But before we gonna find out and get into this one, my people, y'all know what y'all gotta do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need. We to Tragedy Tales for the first time, my people. Y'all got what y'all need? Y'all ready to go? Then let's fucking go.
Cameras that can record video are literally everywhere. Almost anyone can whip their phone out and record a quick video. They're on our doors, in our cars, and are littered on most buildings. With the fact that the world is now completely riddled with cameras, it goes without saying that they capture moments right before things go terribly wrong. As always, I'm Ryan from Tragedy Tales, and without further ado, here are 10 pieces of footage captured before horror.
Get whatever you may need.
On Sunday, July the 24th, 2021, the day began just like any other for the residents and tourists of a place called Himachal Pradesh, located in India's northern state in the Himalayas. Now, Himachal Pradesh, also known as HP, is a largely mountainous district, well known for its trekking, climbing and skiing areas. It has beautiful scenic mountain towns and views that attract tourists from far and wide. In the previous days leading up to that Sunday, the rainfall was described as relentless. As it was India's monsoon season, it went on and on, causing generators to fail and flash floods to sweep across villages. Not only does the rain cause havoc with generators, it also causes numerous landslides almost every year. Around 1:25 p.m, dirt and rock began to loosen and crumble down the mountain face, just above the Sangla Chitkul Road in HP. Before anyone knew it, it was raining boulders the size of cars. This footage was captured, and you can see huge boulders raining from above, crushing anything they come into contact with. Just watching this gives me goosebumps. Just the feeling of seeing these things coming towards you must have been just terrifying. The boulders continued to rain from above, ricocheting and bouncing as they tumbled down. One boulder slams into a bridge, taking it out like it was nothing. Now, just below the landslide was actually a tourist bus carrying 11 people, including the driver. And as they drove along without a care in the world, they heard the unmistakable deafening roar above them. They could do nothing. A huge boulder slammed into the bus, killing 8 instantly.
Damn.
While another sadly succumbed to the injuries on the way to the hospital. One of the tourists on the bus was a woman named Dr. Deepa Sharma. As Miss Deepa enjoyed her backpacking trip across India, on July the 24th, she shared this eerie photo on Twitter with the caption of, "Life is nothing without Mother Nature." She would die just hours after posting this. The Prime Minister announced a compensation of £2,000 to each of the victims' next of kin, and a £500 financial aid was given to the injured.
Now that first one real quick, y'all, I think we seen that shit on another video. Like, or that mountain with the rocks coming down the hill. I seen it on another video with y'all, I think. But I like how he gave detail about it. Because I don't remember about the 11 people in the van and that lady who just had posted a damn picture of her on Twitter saying how Mother Nature is needed in life, which it is. But then just pretty much moments later, hours, minutes, however you want to look at it later, she died from Mother Nature. Crazy. Let's go.
This famous footage begins in the center of Taiwan's capital, Taipei. At around 10:52 a.m. on February the 4th, 2015, TransAsia Airways Flight 235 departed from Kinmen Airport in Taipei to a neighboring island. The plane was an ATR-72 turboprop plane carrying 53 passengers and 5 crew members on board. The pilots were pretty experienced, both ranked as captains, with one with a total of 4,914 flight hours, and the other pilot had 6,922 flight hours. Now takeoff went well, and the passengers soon settled in for their short flight. But shortly after launch, and I mean literally within 2 minutes, a fault in the second engine caused it to have issues, causing it to lose power completely. The pilots worked to fix the issue, but sadly they misdiagnosed the problem and shut down the one working remaining engine. The aircraft reached an altitude of 1,630 feet before it began its descent. Many witnessed as the plane came flying across Taipei, and in this video it can be seen a short distance away. But in this one, you can see as the plane banks sharply and clips a taxi roof before crashing into the nearby river. This was the last recording from the flight deck.
Oh my
Rescue
God.
operations immediately began and got to work pulling people from the flooded wreckage. Emergency teams cut open the plane while it was in the water, but could not reach the passengers trapped in the front section as it had completely submerged. Of the 53 passengers and 5 crew that were on board, only 15 survived, including a 2-year-old boy and 1 flight attendant. This incident made many question how a perfectly fine plane with 2 experienced pilots could come crashing out of the sky for no apparent reason.
I'm just saying, can you imagine riding down the damn road, bro, then all of a sudden a big ass airplane just come across in front of you? Dude, I think I'm in the damn Twilight Zone or something. Like, I think I like somebody who punking me. Where the cameras at? Who playing a trick on me? I would be so I would be in total shock. And it's sad that most of them lost their life. Let's go.
This shocking footage was captured by a 28-year-old man named Armin Schmeider. Now Armin was a wingsuit pilot from Italy, and he was a very experienced skydiver. He had a young child and a following online that would watch him conduct acts that most of us would flat out refuse. Armin's latest obsession was wind gliding. In August of 2016, he had been gliding for 1 year and felt invincible, but he wanted to push it that little bit further. So Armin trekked to the top of a mountain near Kandersteg in Switzerland, and here he began live streaming himself. On the live stream, he can be seen preparing his suit. He was smiling and clearly very happy to be doing this. He seemed very much in his element. And when he was all suited up, he told his viewers that today you fly with me. After checking that he'd fully equipped himself, he slid the phone into his backpack and leapt from the mountaintop. As his phone was in his bag, you can hear wind and noises, and it sounds like it's all going well, until it's all abruptly ended by a shout and the sound of impact. The live stream turned silent, and the only thing that could be heard was the eerie sound of cowbells ringing in the distance. Viewers watched and reacted in absolute horror. Some sent messages in chat, requesting that he write or say something, but there was no response. The stream went on before his phone battery finally died. The next day, the police discovered his body near Candlestick at a popular base jumping location. The cause of his death was blunt force trauma to the head. However, they could not be sure why exactly the accident occurred.
Dude was so like happy. It's just crazy, bro, how you just never know where you gonna go. You looked at that man put on that suit, bro. He ain't had no idea that this was gonna be his last time putting on a suit. Just his last time doing everything. He did not know a couple of minutes later he was gonna be dead. Like, it's just so crazy how we just have no idea when our time is about to end. That's a fucked up way to die too, man. Woo!
On Friday, September the 8th, 2017, a 19-year-old woman named Kanika Jenkins attended a party at the O'Hara Hotel in...
Now, we all know this story. Well, I ain't gonna say we all know, but I remember this story, and I don't think we ever got no closure to how she actually died. But let's go.
Rosemont, Illinois. The party began the previous day at 11:30 p.m., Friday, September the 8th, in room 926. And as the party unfolded, Kanika drank cognac but took no drugs. Witnesses reported her as being very unstable, and many said that she wasn't acting her usual self, noting that she would dance a little, but then later on appeared to be sad and sat down. Early in the morning, Kanika was with her friends walking around the hotel, and this is when they said goodbye to her. This was the last time she was seen. Later in the morning, her friends could not find her anywhere. Kanika's friends contacted her mother, who arrived at the hotel around 5:30 a.m. to assist in the search. Now, her mother was completely consumed by worry. She went on to knock on as many doors as possible, from the top to the bottom, until a hotel employee called 911 to complain. All through the night, Kanika could not be found. She seemed to have disappeared without a trace. The next day, Kanika's mother requested the CCTV footage from the night before, but the hotel management refused until someone reported her missing to the police. So, her mother reported her missing, and finally, they checked the CCTV cameras. The first check of the camera footage focused on entrances and exits, but turned up nothing. She did not leave out of any exit that night. After scouring through hours of CCTV, Kanika was eventually spotted staggering, apparently intoxicated, through the hotel's hallways. Police continued combing through the CCTV, trying to figure out where she might have gone to. And this is...
Bruh, she was drunk as she was drunk. Let's just say that.
Then they came across the final evidence. Kanika was spotted eventually arriving at the kitchen. Here she can be seen sort of swaying and entering in the kitchen, and then turns left towards the freezers. They rushed to the kitchen, went straight to the freezer and opened the door. And lo and behold, there she was. Tragically, she had died from hypothermia the previous night. She was pronounced dead at 12:48 a.m. on Sunday. The freezer was on and working and described as a walk-in freezer within a walk-in cooler, so she would have had to go through 2 doors to get to where she was. Lights were apparently turned off in both chambers when she entered them, so she would have been in pitch black. But the weird part was, there was a button release on the inside, and when they checked, the freezers were not locked, so it's unsure why she entered and why she couldn't or didn't leave. There are a lot of theories as to how she may have ended up in there, but this is something that we may never know. The Rosemont Police Department issued a statement the same day saying that no foul play was suspected, and Kanika's family continued to search for answers as to how she died.
Now, I do remember, I know earlier I said we didn't get no closure. I do remember that, they found her in the freezer and she died from freezing to death, basically. But it's still what I meant by not having no closure is, do y'all really just believe that, man? Even though the camera's showing it, she did walk up in that freezer on her own, but why didn't she leave back out, bro? And why, after she walked in there and she felt it was cold, she decided to keep going. And she was in the cooler, then she walked into the freezer. And it's not even like the freezer where I used to work at McDonald's, y'all. The freezer, though, once you go inside, that bitch ain't got no handle to get back out out of it. Somebody gotta literally open it from the outside. You know what I'm saying? But this one had an emergency button and all this and that. So why would she use it, man? This story will forever just give me like goosebumps a little bit and be so damn crazy. I just don't understand, bro. Maybe she was just that damn drunk. She was drunk than a motherfucker now. She was drunk as a skunk. For real. Seeing how she was stumbling and all that. Y'all think she just went in the freezer and then just blacked out or just passed out? Maybe she was feeling hot or something and just wanted to go cool down then. I don't know. Let's just go. Number 6.
As India celebrated the Gujarati New Year at around 6:30 p.m. on October the 30th, 2022, hundreds of people travelled across the Morbi Bridge to visit a dancing festival. The Morbi Bridge was a pedestrian suspension bridge that spanned across the Machachu River, located in Morbi, in India. The bridge, when it was constructed, was described as an engineering marvel. It was built during the British rule of India in 1900. It measured around 230 metres, or 755 feet long, but while it was long, it was quite thin, coming in at just 1.25 metres, or around 4 feet wide. Ever since it was built, it has been a popular tourist attraction, as it's the only thing connecting the two neighbouring districts. The bridge had been closed for repairs for 2 years, and had only just reopened after renovations on October the 28th. On that fateful day, just 5 days after reopening, the people of Morbi crowded onto the bridge like sardines. Everyone was eager to get to the celebrations, but it was absolute chaos. There was nowhere to move but forward. Just looking at it, it was clear to many that the bridge was massively overloaded. While the bridge had a capacity of 125 people, over 400 were trying to get across. As they carefully tiptoed across the bridge, some people got the foolish idea to test its strength, something that was also witnessed just days prior.
What the? Test its strength? How about this? You test its strength on your own goddamn time, not while I'm on this motherfucker with you. For real, man. But me personally, y'all, I wouldn't even be on that damn bridge with all them damn people. I'll let them go ahead. The bridge got to be more clear. And even then, I'm still worried. Like, it's a lot of things I don't trust in life, but this on the damn list. Bridges. I don't even like riding across bridges on a car. The bridge that we all should know, the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever it called in San Francisco. I wouldn't even like riding across that bridge every day, bro. I don't trust bridges because what's down below is not what I want to go to if this bitch break. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust bridges, bro. I never like bridges, bro. Whenever I'm going over a bridge, man, I'm trying to get over that bitch fast as possible. And this little thin ass bridge with all these people and they shaking the damn shit? Oh, hell no. Let's go.
Captured on CCTV, you can see multiple people swaying and swinging on the bridge, literally trying to get it to break. And it was all fun and games until suddenly the bridge did break. The bridge snapped in the middle, and within seconds, the entire thing collapsed, throwing 400 people into dark, cold waters below. Many tried their best to hold onto nets and ropes, but there was no space to move. If you weren't crushed in the immediate fall, it was now a battle for air. It was every man for themselves. Locals at the riverbank tried to help in any way they could. They were seen forming human chains to rescue people, which proved very effective. But formal rescue operations soon began and continued recovering people from the river up to the evening of October the 31st. While more than 180 people were rescued as they clung onto the remainder of the bridge, sadly they kept pulling more and more bodies out of the water.
Damn.
In total, 135 people died. Many victims were women, elderly and children, with the youngest fatality being an 18-month-old baby. The chief officer who had given the contract for repairs said, and I quote, "The private company in charge of the renovations threw it open to visitors without notifying him. Therefore, we could not get a safety audit of the bridge conducted. Too many people appeared to be in the middle, and this wasn't helped with the fact people were trying to sway it. Many blamed the officials, condemning them for allowing the bridge to become overcrowded and even allowing people onto it in the first place. The government announced a compensation payment of around $5,000 to the next of kin of each person who died and $630 to the injured. After the incident, the police arrested 9 people in relation to the management firm that let people onto the bridge prematurely. This included ticket collectors, security guards that were working on the bridge, and even low-level employees of the company.
Time out. I know y'all just seen me clapping like I was so happy because I'm thinking them damn people are the ones who was fucking swaying that bridge, bro. Them the ones who need to be charged with murder and shit, man. Fuck that manslaughter or something. I mean, of course, we should charge the damn the government or whoever who allowed all these people on this bridge. Yes, I agree with that 100%. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. I ain't mad at that. But the thing that just got me mad about this one is the people on the bridge who was fucking playing with other people's lives. Why are you doing this? You think this shit funny? Why are you doing this, bro? All us on this fucking bridge, bro. That bitch small as hell, bro. You know that bitch break what gonna happen. I know it's probably too hard to really try to attempt to charge them with murder or manslaughter or whatever, because you really don't know who was doing the swinging and who really wasn't. And it's just sad because I know some of them people who were swinging on that bit actually survived, and they still probably living to the day, and they was more than likely the cause of over 100 people dying. Let's go. Wow, bro.
This horrifying footage originates from Indonesia, more specifically the Kanjuruhan Stadium in Malang, located in East Java. On Saturday, October the 1st, 2022, supporters of the Arema Football Club and their number one rival, Persebaya Surabaya, met at the stadium for a historical game. Kanjuruhan Stadium was primarily used for football matches and had a capacity of around 38,000 people. However, that Saturday, as the game was massive and everyone wanted to see it, they oversold the tickets and 42,000 tickets were sold. Arema Football Club was defeated 3-2, their first defeat in 23 years. Those who supported the losing team forced themselves onto the barriers and onto the pitch. The police were attacked, and some of the players even were attacked too. Five police cars were smashed up and set on fire. People were shouting and screaming, and police were hitting back with batons. When they realised this was absolutely futile, the police retaliated by firing tear gas, a crowd control measure banned officially by FIFA. Why is it banned, you ask? Well, tear gas temporarily makes people unable to function by causing irritation to the eyes, mouth, throat, lungs and skin. And as you can imagine, in a tight football stadium, it had a terrible domino effect.
Hell
The gas caused many to panic, and it caused thousands of supporters to run in the same direction, towards gates 12 and 10. This caused a massive bottleneck. As people fled in horror, they fought to get to the gates, which then caused a stampede. Hundreds were stuck under feet or trapped against walls. There was nowhere to go. Literally, there were people left, right and centre. Just horrible. I won't show any of the footage of the stampede, but when the sun set on that day, the death toll was announced. Sadly, this turned out to be one of the world's deadliest football tragedies. 125 people that had innocently gone out had lost their lives. This included 32 children. The FIFA president, Gayani, called the deaths a dark day for football and a tragedy beyond comprehension. The league was immediately suspended and a nation was left in shock. While Indonesia had seen violence at games before, they've never seen anything quite like this.
Now, when the damn police need to be the one charged. Whoever decided to let off that tear gas, knowing that these people gonna freak the freak out, trying to get up out of there, and it's gonna be a stampede and people gonna get trampled on. Like, dude, are y'all thinking? This ain't just 20 people. You got thousands of people at this damn game, man. Let's go.
On October the 16th, 2011, a British motor racing driver named Dan Wheldon participated in the 2011 IZOD IndyCar World Championship, held at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Dan was a legendary driver. Having almost 3 victories under his belt, he felt confident he was going to become the champion of this race. While the race was in full swing, on lap 11 out of the planned 200, Dan was in 24th place and was about to make the second turn. As he turned the corner, the car in front of him was forced to decelerate. Its rear tyre then touched another's at 165 miles an hour, and just a tiny little touch caused it to lose control right in front of his eyes. At this speed, you're travelling the length of a football pitch every 3 seconds. There's no way to stop the car if you wanted to. The only choice is to try and avoid it. Dan slammed on the brake, but it was too late. His car was launched semi-airborne for approximately 325 feet. It then rotated towards the right-hand side catch fence, where it finally settled. Emergency services rushed to his aid, but he had severe head injuries. He was airlifted to the hospital, but despite the doctor's best efforts, he could not be saved. After input from the drivers and team owners, officials declared that they would abandon the race and perform a 5-lap salute in Dan's honour. Amazing Grace was played on the bagpipes, and his number 77 was displayed alone atop the scoring pylon.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. We don't really think about how dangerous NASCAR and, just car racing in general, man. How dangerous that shit is, man. These cars traveling at hundreds of miles per hour around a circle, and they all run like so close to each other to if they hit, it's gonna be some shit. For real, man. And that just reminded me of, I remember actually watching when Dale Earnhardt had his crash. I remember that shit to this day, and I was a little itty bitty boy, and I remember seeing that, bro. And this shit just dangerous, man. And that's a reminder. Let's go. Number 3.
This clip has a little background, but it's filmed on Bolivia's Death Road, famously featured on Top Gear's Bolivia special in 2009.
Oh my... Stop there!
As far as I can tell, the clip was filmed in December of 2011, and it shows a double-decker bus as it travelled on Bolivia's Death Road. They were driving along when all of a sudden they came across a part of the road that seemed to have been damaged in a landslide. It didn't look like the bus could possibly make it past, but there was nowhere to turn around and no way to reverse back on themselves.
Dang.
The driver commanded his 50 passengers to get off the bus and wait on the road while he attempted to maneuver it solo. And this is when the nail-biting video begins. The bus drives on and it looks like he's going to make it. As all the passengers stood by watching, within a moment, it all goes wrong. Unbeknownst to the driver, the back wheel failed to get a grip on the mud. Its entire back end teetered dangerously close to the precipice, and as the driver slammed on the accelerator, the bus's back end slid over the edge. Within a blink of an eye, the entire bus slipped straight out of view over the rocky cliff.
Oh, man.
It's only when they look over the edge that they then realise how far he's fallen. The bus tumbled 164 feet below, killing the driver on impact. This left the passengers stood by, completely confused as to what they were going to do, and in complete shock at what they had just witnessed.
He saved their life, though. In a way, he saved their life, though. He did. He ain't even in no way. He did save their life, but god damn, cuz that's a fucked up way to go out. But at least he told them to get off, cuz he didn't really have to say that. He could have just, you know what I'm saying, other bus drivers out of here just probably would have just tried to get him, and everybody would still be sitting in their damn seat. Now, that would have been even more fucked up, man, if them folks ain't get off that bus before he tried to get that bit from right there. Salute to him and rest in peace. Number 2.
Imagine driving down the road on a completely normal day with your family, and then all of a sudden, it ends. This is precisely what happened to a man named Vadim. on Tuesday, June the 12th, 2012. Around 11 a.m, Vadim, along with his wife and baby, were traveling in their Audi A4 on a highway in Russia. As they were driving on the 11th kilometer on the highway, a group of large Kamaz trucks could be seen in the distance, coming towards them. They were carrying 16 tons of very poorly packed bricks. As they drove past, a brick from the van became dislodged at the wrong place and at the wrong time. This dashcam footage captures the brick falling off the van and straight towards the car.
Oh!
With zero time to react, the brick crashed straight through the windscreen, hitting a 29-year-old woman named Olga in the head at 60 miles an hour. Now Vadim didn't realise at first, but when he turned to look, he saw his wife's head had been split vertically by the brick. The truck driver had no idea that any of this had happened and actually continued driving on. Olga was taken to the emergency room at the Azov hospital, but sadly, after 2 hours of trying to revive her, she was pronounced dead. The Kamaz driver who was driving the vehicle was actually arrested for her death in accordance with Article 264, which is essentially violation through traffic rules, which through negligence caused the death of a person.
Bro, what is the chances of some shit like that happening? Seriously, what is the chances of that? 0.000000001 in 1? Like, come on, bro. Oh, that's why sometimes I still be wondering, like, I go back and forth on this too. When it's your time to go, it's just your time to go. That's what that video just showed me, man. When it's your time to go, it's just your time to go, bro. Cause that's just some very, like, rare ain't even the word to use for that, what just happened right there. Let's check out number 1.
This story begins in Huntsville, Alabama. On October the 2nd, 2021, a 29-year-old woman named Christina Nance was finally reported missing after she randomly stopped turning up to work and replying to messages. Now, Christina was described as a very fun-loving person. She loved to sing and was positive and sweet. When her family reported her missing, they told the police that they'd not seen her since September the 25th, 1 week previously. While Christina was known to the police through the crisis intervention team, they were perplexed as to why she would just up and walk away, leaving everything behind. Christina had some mental health problems, but nothing that would just make her disappear without a message or a note or anything. Police searched far and wide. They searched her property, they searched her car, and she was nowhere to be seen. Days passed, and she still had not responded to any messages whatsoever, so her family began to worry. Fast forward to Thursday, October the 7th, around 9:15 a.m, the Huntsville Police Department began their workday like any other. As they walked in, one of the officers noticed a pair of shoes sitting beside an unused police van. As the officer approached the van, he noticed that one of the windows was down. Putting 2 and 2 together, he thought someone must be sleeping in the van, so the officer unlocked the doors. This is when the horrific discovery was made. As he opened the door, he discovered that Christine had been locked inside the van. She was clearly gone. She had been dead for days. The car's humid environment had massively sped up the decomposition process. She had maggots literally wriggling out of her head.
And you gonna tell me nobody can smell her nowhere? I mean, nowhere? My cousin riding in a way with maggots all in her face.
Her family couldn't help but wonder why nobody noticed the smell. The police were also confused as to how she'd managed to get in there. With the shoes and the window, their initial thoughts were immediately murder. So they immediately checked the surrounding CCTV cameras. As these were unmonitored, anything could have happened. The police spent hours sifting through the CCTV footage before they came across something. Captured on CCTV, they discovered the bizarre footage of what looked like Christina walking around the Huntsville Police car park on September the 25th. On that day, it showed her approaching unmanned cars and sitting on bonnets. She does this for 10 minutes before she approaches the van. She checked the van, checked that it was unlocked, opened the doors, and for an unknown reason, climbed in the back. Now what she did not know is that this van was an old inmate transport van. While the doors would open, they would lock on themselves once they were closed, meaning someone else has to let you out. It was police policy to ensure these vans were locked. I can only imagine the feeling of realizing that you're stuck. Footage shows that once she entered, she did not leave. The car's windows could be seen being pushed and forced down from the inside, and movement could be seen in the vehicle up to September the 28th. The bizarre part was the fact that the window was open plenty enough to scream for help or get someone's attention. Sadly, for one reason or another, she couldn't or didn't shout for help, and nobody found her in there until 12 days later. By the time they found her, an autopsy showed that she'd been dead for 8 to 10 days. However, her cause of death was inconclusive. Her family were absolutely furious and demanded more answers. They feel, despite the video footage, they couldn't help but wonder why she didn't shout for help, why she got in the van in the first place, and why she was left undiscovered for so long. They accused the police of manslaughter for leaving the death trap of a van unlocked, and the police openly took responsibility for it. Due to this, Christina's family are currently working on suing the ever-living daylights out of them. But that is the end of the video. As always,
now y'all see why I said we fucking with Tragedy Tales? This dude got some crazy stories out there for your ass. For real. This last one really got me. It got me like the girl who walked in the freezer. This basically was kind of like that. Like, why did you even get in that damn van? Why? Like, it's just so fucking strange for them to just go into a place that they have no business being. Then I guess she ain't know the damn van was gonna lock from the inside. But then also, why she did, I don't know, she let the window down or some kind of way it got down. She got it down and she went screaming. Like, why you went hollering? I've been hollering like a bitch. I've been screaming like a motherfucker. But at the same time, maybe by that point she had became so dehydrated, you know what I'm saying, from being in this hot ass van, till she couldn't even speak for real. She couldn't even get no words out loud enough to alert anybody. I don't fucking know. That one you can go down a rabbit hole on. It's two more that really, like, all this shit got me, but it's two more that really got me. The damn bridge. I'm still mad about the bridge, man. I'm mad that them people did that shit, man. That is some bullshit, bro. Y'all, they committed murder, bro. Manslaughter, whatever you want to call it. By sitting up there shaking a bit, like this shit funny, man. And you playing with people's lives, y'all. Hell no, that shit, that is crazy, man. It was a good ass video, y'all. Hey, y'all know we coming back to Tragedy Tales, man. And I hope y'all come on back to the channel real soon. And there's one more video, y'all, that I wanted to talk about too. Oh, the damn one with the lady. The lady, man, driving down the highway and then the brick just split her head in half, just fly off, and just like, dude, you want to talk about random? Oh my God, bro. That one got me too, man. But for real, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Video been long ago. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, do all that goodness right there. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. But until I see y'all tomorrow, my friends, I got a couple more things to say. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.